the original Season 3, Episode 10, A Ghost Along the Mississippi. I gotta say, this episode really threw a curveball in. Straight from the start, I mean, obviously there were two really big surprises for this episode. The first one was, of course, the fact that Cami survived, in a sense. You know, she technically died, but she's a vampire, or was at least in transition for most of this episode. And when they did the recap, it was like, oh man, you know, is she really gonna die? And it starts off with the flashback, and whenever they do that, it's like, oh, you know, she's dead. Like, that was the first thing I thought was she's dead. And then it went to Klaus, you know, super mad, destroying things. But like the first 6 shots were flashback, him mad, flashback, him mad, flashback, and then him mad again. So he had time to go around that room and destroy stuff, and so that's why I was not expecting it. And then, you know, he's with her and he's just sitting there and he's, you know, just messed up. And I was like, man, that really sucks. And I normally don't swear. I'm just eating. I was like relaxed. Like I recently, it's like 2:30 or something in the morning now. So, you know, I'm eating and stuff, and I'm just like relaxed. I'm like, that really sucks. And then she just gasps, and I was like, oh shit, I can't believe she's alive. Like I was just stunned that she woke up because I didn't see that coming at all. And for a second, I thought maybe Aurora told her to drink some crazy thing that would make her pass out and make it look like she cut her throat. But then it was way worse than that, and it was actually kill yourself and drink my blood so that you can be, you know, a vampire, or at least stuck in that position where you may or may not become a vampire. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was great, a great moment, and the whole episode is her really deciding that she's gonna die, which was admittedly another curveball. I was like, it's, you know, is she really saying that she's not gonna, you know, drink the blood? And when she first said that to Klaus, his reaction was just like, oh, like he was about to say something like, oh, I kind of just assumed you were going to do that because you wanted to live. Like he had a legitimately shocked look on his face. Like he didn't know what to say. Like, yeah, like, yeah, was really his answer because he thought she would just, you know, drink some blood and then, you know, stop the transition, just do the full transition and be done with it. But instead, you know, she goes through the motions of trying to, you know, stay human and wanting to choose her death. And I thought the way that they did things was pretty cool with her character. And of course, I knew she would live by the end of the episode, or I guess by the middle of the episode, really, because the other crazy twist is that they actually kill Jackson in this episode. And I did not see that coming. I thought, okay, he's got the bleeding leg. They talk about the wolf's bane and stuff, and he gives, you know, the, you know, very heartfelt speech and stuff about how he loves Hayley. And then Tristan comes in, and as soon as he spoke, it was like, how do you truly hurt a hybrid? I thought it would be a little bit more of the torture, to be, you know, totally honest. I thought it would go that route where, you know, he's, you know, the typical TV thing, like, hey, I'm going to beat this person up a bunch, and then I'm going to be tired of this crap, and then I'm going to kill them, you know, towards the end, but, you know, surprise, surprise, they've been saved. Instead, it's just like, nope, already dealt with you. Dealt with you. You tortured me. So, you know, there is no being coy about it. It's just like, boom, he puts his hand straight in his heart. And I was like, there's no way anyone's going to be able to save him. Like, no one even knew that they were taken. And he just rips his heart out. And I was like, man, that is insane. And I could not believe they did that. And it was just out of nowhere. And they did it really well because, of course, everything is like, oh, it's, you know, all on Cami. All the whole break is like, Cami's probably going to die. Like, that's just how it's going to be. And then it's just like right in the middle of the episode. Not even the middle. It was still really early on in the episode. And it's like, oh, captured you. Pulled his head back and just ripped his heart clean out. And I was like, that really blows. And so Jackson is gone, which sucks. I liked him as a character. So it, you know, it really sucks to see him get killed. And then, you know, they threaten to do it to Hayley. They send the, you know, nice little compelled messenger, and, you know, they get a letter and everything. So just everyone's kind of wrapped up in this really weird situation. Vincent gets taken because, of course, Tristan decides, well, we might be able to use him later, so screw the deal, let's take him. It was a pretty cool moment for Vincent, I think. He was talking to the witch and stuff. You know, took down, or kind of took down both the vampires. He took down the first one, and then I forgot what, I guess he sent it into the back of the second vampire, and that's why it didn't kill him. He didn't, like, hit him in the heart. But it took him down for a little bit, and then he killed the other witch. I was like, this is for your ancestors. And then he's about to get killed by the vampire, and then here comes Elijah ripping hearts out as usual. So they're going through, and so he ends up working with them for this episode, which may or may not last. I don't really know how long that's going to be taking place, but we'll see how things work out depending on just the dynamics of stuff. We'll see how that goes. But it was kind of cool seeing them work together because Vincent's kind of been on his own a little bit for this season. He's kind of been like in this really awkward position where the only vampire he was really talking to was Marcel, and that was because of all the stuff going on with, of course, our former regent, who is currently missing. I forgot where they even had Davina, what she's doing. I think she's still just kind of wallowing in sadness at this point. So because of all of that, he's kind of just been a bit solo until he kind of was forced to get wrapped up into things because of Tristan stealing the pendant and saying, like, well, we can just put Finn back in your body. So he, it was cool to see him involved, even though he was forced to do something. But at least in this one, he chose to do it a little bit. Like, Elijah still kind of threatened him when he, put the pendant, had it, like, dangling. And it's like, well, I guess you still have one on me too, so you're forcing me to do stuff now. But a little bit better, because Tristan was still, oddly enough, he was still a bit worse, in a sense. So it was cool seeing him work with them. Him flipping the car was a cool scene. And then, Elijah once again coming in. He didn't technically save him that time, but, the plan was just distract the vampires and then boom, boom, and kill them. And so they took out Lucian's guys, got Aurora, and I love the way they were knocking her out. Like, she woke up and the guy just stuck her in the neck with something, and she's just like, oh, and just passed out again. I was like, that's really funny. But they get Aurora, take his guys down, have her trapped, and then somehow she escapes. I guess Lucian went to the house while they were doing their whole thing with Tristan, and now he's with Aurora. I guess that means he still has feelings for her then, because otherwise why give a crap? But clearly he cares, so we'll see what happens. I mean, the trailer shows nothing about them because, of course, what happened with Cami. So I'm sure that'll be in there. It kind of has to be. It can't be, this is just all about Cami turned into a vampire, which didn't surprise me when I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, I figured that would happen, because it's like, it's always like that. It's like the nice person always goes nuts because they become vampires. Everything's like crazy heightened, and it's like nothing ever felt this good before and stuff like that. So I wasn't surprised to see that happen from the trailer. It didn't shock me at all. But Lucian and Aurora together, who knows how that's going to play out. But them defeating Tristan, another big surprise for this episode. I really didn't see that one coming. I thought, I wasn't sure what to really expect, especially after they showed that it was Cami, because at first I thought it was actually her, and maybe I thought the spell was probably that they were controlling her, because I must have missed a scene, because I don't remember them showing them put Aurora in like that little circle or anything like that. I thought that just showed up at the end, which it probably did. They probably just didn't have time to put that part of the episode in for us to actually see on the network. But I thought it really was Aurora. I thought it was actually her, and maybe the spell that they were doing was to control her. And then, once she, was standing there and saying certain things, I was like, okay, it's definitely not Aurora because of the way she's looking at him and stuff like that. And, when it's revealed to be Cami, I was like, they're just standing around. I'm like, I don't know why they haven't, like, sped off, really fast. And then Elijah, of course, him and his silver tongue, like both of them, Elijah and Klaus can sometimes, they have their way with words. And Elijah was pretty smart with this one. It was like, instead of, a bunch of you guys getting killed off, why don't you just walk away? Like, he doesn't care about you guys. This is all about revenge, and he engineered all this stuff to happen strictly for revenge. And he actually convinces everyone to do that. I don't know what's going to happen with Aya. I'm assuming that she's going to become the leader of the Strix. And Marcel is still a part of the Strix, which, I find that very interesting. Of course, Aya is like their main, opposition at this point. I mean, she let Tristan go because it's like, well, oh well. I mean, the thing is stuck on the inside. I don't know. I guess they could technically destroy the container that he's in, and that would probably break the seal. But she was like, sorry I had to end this way. And I'm like, you know, it was like, holy crap, I can't believe that this is actually going to be like their permanent victory over Tristan. That kind of blew my mind that they actually defeated him. But it was cool to see that they did. And of course, their ultimate example, let's just drop him in the ocean and he's done for, and that's all there is to it. So he's gone. He's out of there. So we still have Lucian and Aurora. I think what we're going to end up seeing is Aurora going up against Cami. I feel like that's the most logical thing to happen because Cami didn't want that. And until she, you know, kind of comes to her senses and she's like normal Cami again, you know, I don't think they'll encounter each other until Cami's kind of back to normal. But I prefer it if they met right now. That way she could be super, super mad and she'd really go all out and try to, you know, take her down, which probably wouldn't be the best idea because Aurora is so much older, so probably not the best idea. She doesn't really have experience fighting, so maybe when she's regular Cami would be a little bit better, just for her lifespan. I'm sure that she won't die based on what they've just done, but yeah, she could at least get beat up. They might do that. She might just get beat up and somehow saved, and we don't have to worry about her just flat out being dead. So looking forward to however they interact. I don't know what Lucian is planning, honestly, at this point. I mean, unless it's just, I want to be with Aurora, that's why I saved her, which obviously isn't going to work because she wants to be with Klaus. And despite everything that's happened, I'm pretty sure she still wants to be with Klaus, even though she was drugged in this episode, so I kind of can't gauge that 100% as, you know, towards how she feels about him. Because she was all messed up and it was just like, oh, I knew you'd find me. And that was kind of all they gave her in this episode. So it was like, oh, well, kind of hard to really tell where she's at mentally because she's so drugged up. Just like a poke in the neck and then she's out for, you know, who knows how long. So a little hard to tell from that aspect. But I'm sure we'll find out in this next episode. But I really enjoyed this premiere. It was very surprising. We got Cami as a vampire and surviving. We have the defeat of Tristan, which, you know, once again, none of the stuff that happened in this, honestly, I saw coming. I really thought Cami was dead because it didn't occur to me that she could have been compelled because it was so long ago, I forgot that even happened. But it was just like, oh, they had that scene and they were talking and she got saved. And that was pretty much all there was to it. She got saved and nothing happened. And they had all that stuff going on where they, you know, did the scenes together and stuff like that. And I thought for sure Aurora went into the room, killed Cami and left, and that was her plan. It was just to mess with him and leave her there silently dead. And then she's alive, which is crazy. And then it's just like, you know, Hayley and Jackson are captured. Boom, he's killed off, which, you know, once again, that really sucks. But crazy good moment, admittedly. Nice shock value. And then Tristan is defeated. And Vincent's working with them for a little bit, so. And then Cami decides, I'm going to become a vampire. You know, it felt good to help is, you know, her reasoning for it. So that's why she decides to keep going. And we'll see, you know, we'll see what happens. I think Freya had a great moment with her where she's like, I didn't get the chance to die with dignity, so, you know, I'm letting you do whatever you choose to do. I thought that was actually kind of a really awesome moment for her, so I enjoyed that. But I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And, you know, crazy things happen. So the big 3 things that happened in this episode, definitely want to know what you guys thought about those moments. I mean, we lost a character. We actually got the transition of a character we thought was dead. I thought for sure there was no way because it was obvious that it had been a while when she had died. So that's why I was sure she's just gone and that's all there is to it. And then we have Tristan who was defeated. I was just like, you know, they're going to talk or whatever. And then it's like, we have to really get our full revenge. And they got it all in one episode. So that surprised me, but loved every moment of it. Sucks to see Jackson go, but great twist, great shock value on that one. But like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.